Welcome to, I don't even know what episode this is, but it's Wednesday Wine with Hailey, but we're not drinking wine today. We are drinking vodka, Smirnoff triple distilled with ice, lemon, and 0-calorie tonic water. I'm like, let me go get it. It's like a soda water with no sugar. So the reason no more wine is I'm trying to be a little healthier, and I have two things that I've been really focusing on, and I call it, I've got two chapsticks here, by the way, today. I'm like, I use a lot of cherry chapstick. Let me just tell you, my lips are always moist. So, health and wealth, H&W, is what I've been super focused on. I'm like, I just want to make money and I just want to be healthy. And I think last year I was focused on other things and I lost both of those things in the mix. Like, I was doing really good financially and focused on my dreams, and then the big L, oh wait, it's backwards on the camera, there you go. The big L, L-O-V, motherfucking E, got in the way and really took me off track of my goals, which then my financial side was suffering because I was just like, all I want to do is spend time with this mother bleep. No, but all I want to do was spend time with the dude. And so I'm like taking time to go out of my city and turning down opportunities and not taking my spare time to focus on my goals. And my spare time was focused on, I want to spend time with him when I have spare time. And not like, oh, I have spare time, I need to hustle during my spare time. So that, plus, just health. You gotta get your health right, man. You have nothing without your health. You can have all the money in the world, you can have all the love in the world, but if you don't have your health, you have absolutely nothing. And your life is just gonna be miserable. So, I've been hitting the gym a lot, and I've been taking all these crazy herbal supplements and going to doctors, and oh, here, check this out. So, I have a bruise right hither, but this is 2 weeks after I got this vaccine. I got the HPV vaccine, and I also got the shingles vaccine because my mom had shingles, my dad had shingles, my brother had shingles, so I'm like, clearly, I am next in line to get shingles. So I got all these vaccines because when you turn, this is another thing. It will all tie together, I promise. But everyone says, oh, when you turn 18, you're an adult. No, you're not. When you turn 21, you're an adult. You can drink. No, you're still not. When you are 26, trust me, you will know. It's not just like, oh, you turned a certain age. You will know. Letters start coming in the mail like, hey, you gotta get your own health insurance. Hey, you gotta renew your license. You're old as bleep. Like, get it together. Like, it. And I think also just personally for me, 25, 26 has been like such a different world than I lived in before. Like, I live on my own now, which is freaking awesome, and I own my car and have to pay my registration and everything. It feels good. It's like low-key stressful, of course, but at the same time I didn't realize how good it was gonna feel to like handle all my own shit, and it just feels good. But let me tell you, vodka is stronger than wine, so you gotta be careful. I got an ice cube in there. But, yeah, turning 26. It is exciting. a little scary. I think the one thing I'm most scared about, because I take it so seriously, and I've had really bomb health insurance through my dad and through like my parents for so long, I like take my health very seriously, and I just don't want to mess with it, and I don't want some BS health insurance plan that I want to make sure I make the right decision on my health insurance that I choose, and I want to I love my doctor. Oh my God. I don't know if there's like laws against naming doctors' names, but you won't know where she is. Dr. Connolly. It's like if I was a doctor and I was my own doctor. It's pretty awesome. She's like my older sister, but she's like in her 30s or maybe 40s, but she's gorgeous and awesome and hilarious, and we're like friends. And also she understands who I am as a patient. I love to do research, and I come in and I don't just go there when I'm sick. I go in and I'm like, hey, I did research on this new vaccine, and what do you think about it? And she's like, millennials don't ever do this. Like, who the hell are you? And she actually wasn't my primary doctor. She was another doctor where I go, and my primary doctor wasn't available, so I went to her. And she started I was sick. I had bronchitis. This was years ago. But I was talking to her, and I just knew a lot about the medication, and she was trying to prescribe me and whatever. And she was like, are you in the medical field? I was like, well, I'm an emergency dispatcher. I know a lot about medical stuff because of that. And then my mom and my aunt are both physical therapists who worked for Children's Hospital. So I was like, yeah, I know a little bit. But I also, personally, it's like a hobby of mine to do research. So it could get unhealthy, though. You gotta be careful, because you could go a little crazy, like, my elbow hurts, and then you Google it, you're like, I have elbow cancer! So you gotta be a little, like, careful with doing your own research and where you're getting your facts from. But Dr. Connolly, she's just awesome. And I don't want different doctors. I want the exact same doctors. I want these doctors forever until something happens to them. I want them, or something happens to me. So I just love two of my doctors, my gynecologist and my regular doctor. Like, I want Dr. Connolly, I want Dr. Raven. These are my people, and they're dope, and they're awesome. And so I don't care. Like, if I get a new dentist, I'm like, these are solid, they're good. But a dentist is a dentist is a dentist. I don't know. Some dentists will tell you have a cavity and just fill it for no reason. Which brings me to a story, which what this is all about. I think I was about 12, 13, and my dad took me to a new dentist, and I'd never been to this dentist. It was between, like, when you go to your child dentist and then you need to switch over to, like, an adult dentist. So we were switching over, and he took me to this dentist, which was really close to our house, and it's, like, in Toluca Lake. And it's funny, we go to this breakfast place, like, all the time right next to it, and I was like, that's the place you took me. But, so he took me there, I got, like, a checkup, they did x-rays, they, like, checked my teeth, and they came out and told my dad that I had 8... Sorry, this is a bizarre text I'm getting. I'll answer that later. So the dentist came out and told my dad that I have 8 cavities that need filled that day. Like, they're like, you want us to just do it now? And I was sitting in the chair like, la-di-da, like, chilling, like, I'm all good. And my dad came in and told me, and I was like, what? No, like, I feel fine. And he was like, all right, well, there was, like, some whole discussion between the dentist and my dad. And I don't know, my dad doesn't take any BS from anyone. And my dad's like, all right, well, we'll bring her back. We're going to need a second opinion. So then my dad took me to the dentist that him and my mom had been going to for years. And I don't know why they didn't do that in the first place. They took me to some other rando dentist. But So then they did x-rays. He checked all my teeth and he's like, she doesn't have any cavities. Her teeth are perfectly fine. So this other dentist was about to drill my perfectly healthy, beautiful teeth 8 times, just drill into it and mess up my teeth just to make money. And that's sometimes how there's corrupt dentists. So I'm not saying all dentists are good. Now I'm like, oh my God, I gotta find a good dentist with this new healthcare I'm getting. That's very important. But I'm like, I really try to take care of my teeth, like maybe OCD a little bit, like got my floss sticks like right over there. But I was just like, I've seen people go through dental problems and it's painful and it's awful and it's expensive. And so I'm just like, I gotta keep this right. But, yeah, 26. These boys are crazy, man. It's 3 in the morning. I know, it's 3 in the morning. I'm still up. Okay, what do they want? Ready or not, here comes the boom. That's what I just got texted. What does that mean? What does it mean? I don't even know what that means, but they'll call me if it's important. Health. So I do love a drink, clearly, but it's relaxing. It makes me relax. I'm like, sometimes I stress out too much, unnecessarily, but this is like no sugar. It's just lemon, vodka, soda water. So it's super clean. You don't wake up with a hangover. Like, I love wine, man. I do. I love wine so much. But wine has a ton of sugar in it. And you feel it the next day. You're like, God, I just pumped my body with sugar. So it's good to be aware of and try to manage. But, ooh, soda water makes you burp too. But, okay, what else is going on in life, man? What's going on? Well, never mind. That was weird. Sorry. I don't want to filter myself talking on these, but sometimes I have to because that was not allowed to be said. So, man, I really distracted myself there. I feel like anyone who watches this is like, yo, you need therapy. Like, I don't know. If anyone's watching this, they're probably just like, is she okay? She's talking to her camera at 3 in the morning, drinking vodka and lemon. If you're a therapist, hit me up if you're cheap. Therapy, that's the one thing. Okay, let's talk about that. Therapy is so expensive. Even if you desperately need help and you want to reach out, it is so freaking expensive. Even with insurance, to reach out and like get a therapist, it's like, there's some therapists that are like $500 a session. You're like, bitch, I'd rather die. Like, I would rather be sad. Like, it's ridiculous. And I think that mental health is not taken seriously enough in America, or maybe in the world, I don't know, but I live in America. And like, yeah, braces, everyone having straight teeth, like, is a lot more important and affordable to families than mental health care, which is just ridiculous. But that's what our country prides on, in a messed up way, is vanity and beauty. And, oh yeah, you can go to a dermatologist and get proactive and braces, but your brain's gonna be all twisted, and all your trauma and like all the shit that's happened to you, you're just gonna have to deal with it with a pretty smile. Like, that's what makes me real mad. But there's so many problems with healthcare, and there's a dope documentary. I think I talked about this in another episode. Sicko, Michael Moore, and it just compares healthcare in different countries, and it's awesome. And it just will make you hate America and our healthcare system. But at the same time, Obama did so much. Like, I know there's a lot of people that are opposed to the idea of universal healthcare, and that pretty much how it works. Now that I'm 26, I'm learning even more. But, and when I voted for Obama, and I, like, was aware of what was going on, but I think I was too young because it wasn't affecting me. I'm like, okay, I'm on my dad's healthcare. Gotta go to the dentist, paid for. Gotta go to the gynecologist, paid for. Like, I didn't really think about it until now that the system that he put in place covered California, and there's healthcare for everyone. And yes, you have to pay for it, but there's options. There's different levels. You can get a cheap, very cheap version, but if you don't apply and when you're 26 and you do not get healthcare, you don't go through Obamacare or whatever the hell they call it now, because Obama's not in office. In my mind, I'm like, it's still Obamacare. He created it, even though he's not in office anymore. And I think it's a cool system. You can pick what you want, and everyone has to have healthcare. And if you choose not to, the government is going to fine you every year. You're like, it's like, okay, pay $30 a month, $70 a month, $150 a month. Like, the max was like $250, which is like the bombest plan. And it's like you can get every kind of coverage you need for almost anything you need. And so I'm just like, this gets me worked up, man. I'm getting all, but it's okay. So you pay you're like, well, I don't have money to pay for healthcare. You pay $30 a month every month for 12 months. I could pull out my calculator and give you the exact amount, but it's not that much. Or if you don't choose to, once you're 26 and you do not follow the laws and don't get health insurance through the plan, through Covered California, then you're going to be fined a huge amount of money. So it's just ridiculous. And then if anything happens to you, which it will, like, that's the thing. People think, like, nothing's ever going to happen to me. All I gotta say is, nothing's ever going to happen. Like, nothing's ever going to happen to me. Yeah, sure. That's what everybody thinks until it happens to you and you're like, I'm in so much pain. Something's happening to me. My spleen burst. Or, like, I need my tonsils removed. I have bronchitis, pneumonia, shingles. There's mono, HPV. I have strep throat. Like, there's so much that can happen to you that if you don't have access to antibiotics or whatever you need to treat whatever you're going through, or you break a bone. I've broken many bones, and I've been pretty darn safe in my life. So it happens, and when it happens, which it will, at some point, whether it's minor or major, you're going to need some sort of medical care. And for someone to just think, oh, well, I'll never need that. Like, nah. But at this point, it's pretty much impossible. If you say, oh, I don't need that, and you don't want to pay, the government's going to send you a thing. They're going to send you a check, bill in the mail saying, okay, well, you owe us $6,000. You didn't sign up and you didn't get insurance. Sucks for you. But there's all kinds of programs for people who are on welfare and can't afford that per month. So, like, there's a lot of different ways that people survive and get through it. But if you can afford $30 a month, even the minimum, like $30 a month, $70 a month, the minimum plans, it's, I think, genius, because everyone's going to have health care. Yeah, you got to pay yourself out of pocket, but And it's not like the government provides health care, even though we're paying taxes. And in a lot of other countries, that's what your taxes go towards, is every citizen of that country who is a tax-paying citizen gets free health care, which I do think should be the case. That's not the case here, but this is like the next best thing, I think. Yeah, 26, man, 26. I think I've been reflecting on everything I've been through, where I'm at, and I'm in such a good place. I'm like, hallelujah, because I wasn't, and it's so good to be in such a good place. And I was going through like a weird transitional period in so many ways. Like, I quit my job. I was like, that was a huge part of my identity and my confidence and my income and everything. And then I moved, and I don't live with my parents anymore, which is a huge part of my identity and my confidence and my structure of my life. And then I fell in love with someone who didn't love me back, and I was like, oh my God, that's a whole other part of my like self that's like messed up now. Like, it was, and then someone died, and another person died, and I'm like, oh my God, life is crazy. But the thing is, I'm so happy right now, and I just wish, I don't even know, like, I wish I could have told the girl who was, like, crying and confused, like, dude, what the hell are you crying? Like, it's so clear to me now, and I wish I could have, but there's no telling yourself that when you're in the, like, midst of it. But when you're out of it, you look back like, what the hell was I crying about? Like, everything is wonderful, and even when it's not that good and horrible things are happening, it's still pretty damn wonderful and amazing that we're even here, and I'm breathing, and I'm happy, and got amazing friends and family. I have a roof over my head, and like, there's so many things to be grateful for, and it sounds ridiculous, but it's funny because I always hear people say that, and I've always heard people say that my whole life, like, I'm so grateful, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I thought, but I think I thought that when people say they're grateful, I'm like, trying to look good for who are you trying to look good for? The cameras aren't watching. You can just be like, I'm sad, like, I'm upset, and I'm not happy, screw my marriage. Like, I feel like people are like, I am so grateful for my husband, and I'm like, bitch, you're gonna get a divorce in 6 months. Look at him talking to the waitress, and he's like, you guys are lies. So I never, I just thought it was BS when people said that. But I truly have been like, I wake up and I'm like, I'm so grateful for, I have a ceiling. And like, I'm so grateful that, but I don't like the word grateful. I think there's a different word to explain the feeling. It's like it's contentment. That's the perfect word. I wake up and I'm like, I'm so content. I don't need anything. And I feel like really good and in like a solid, centered, God, I sound like a yoga LA. Dang it. I was like, I don't know how to explain it any other way. Then I feel like centered and calm and like collected, and there's of course moments when I don't feel that way, and then I have to like remind myself and be like, oh yeah, we got a roof over our head. There's food in my fridge. I have a car. I have underwear. I got a lot of people who love me. I got a lot of people who I love. And just be like, dang, things are pretty good. Like, I'm not tripping. And I always think this, and I don't even know if I want to say it out loud because it's like a secret. I mean, it's not that big of a secret, but it's something I tell myself all the time. Things happen exactly when they're supposed to happen. And when I'm getting frustrated with the situation, it's not working out exactly, and I'm like, no. Remember, things happen exactly when they're supposed to happen. And that's, I don't know, it's, I guess, a way of saying, like, things happen for a reason. But I think of it differently. Things happen, it might not be a good reason. That's the thing. When I hear people say things happen for a reason, they're like, oh, it's for a good cause. Not always, but things happen. I do believe that every negative thing that happens, like, immense, more positive happens after. So maybe that's why it's happening. So I guess, God, I'm like arguing with myself. I hope you all are following. But I just, when anything is not lining up properly in my mind, I tell myself, no, things happen exactly when they're supposed to happen. And that, like, eases my mind. I'm like, oh, so it's just not supposed to happen right now. Like, that's fine, or ever. That's cool. And it just makes me go like, and I sigh when I tell myself that. Anything, like, it could be so simple that it's ridiculous. And I'm like, well, I need to get this done, or something. I can't even think of an example right now, but it could be super simple, and then I just always come to that conclusion. No, don't worry. Everything happens exactly when it's supposed to happen. But I don't know if I connect that in any way to, like, things are predetermined and destined for you. But I do believe things happen exactly when they're supposed to happen. Okay, let's get off that because I've said that about 37 times. I think we're getting almost up. We're at 27 minutes, so gotta wrap this baby up. So, H and dub. H. I don't think I could do an H with my fingers. H and W is, yeah, I broke my finger, so it's all crooked. But H and W are my two main goals currently, which is health and wealth. I want to be financially stable. I want to earn money. I want to just be secure and have freedom to, like, live my life and do whatever I want to do. Eat whatever I want, do whatever I want to do. I don't want to stress about that. And the other thing is health. I have been extremely focused on my health and taking all these supplements, and I think I'll do another one because that is going to be a long one to explain everything I've been, like, taking. But I feel incredible with all these supplements, because to know what your body is lacking, and especially with women, our bodies are like, men are like, they're like a toaster oven, and we're like a jet engine of an airplane. It's a lot more complicated to keep our bodies balanced with all the minerals and vitamins and everything we need. And I've learned that because I have acid reflux and have for years, and I take omeprazole. Omeprazole, if anyone takes it, it's an acid reducer. But what acid does is it breaks down food that you ingest, and then what your body does after it breaks down is it soaks up the nutrients from the food. And if you don't have that much acid because you have acid reflux, and, well, the thing is you have excess acid because of acid reflux, then I take the pill, then I don't have enough acid, which is great because I feel good. I'm not, like, burning. I don't have heartburn. But at the same time, then your body is depleted of nutrients. So you have to figure out what nutrients is your body being depleted of, and you can do that by a blood test. There's multiple ways. But for me, I was feeling funky. I got a blood test. I have a vitamin D deficiency. I have been taking a huge dose of vitamin D every day. I got to eat milk, cheese, anything with vitamin D, and I feel wonderful now. And there's, like, certain things you need to do, but my doctor was like, oh my God, you have an extremely low amount of vitamin D. Another way to get vitamin D is to go out in the sun, which I was not doing when they first told me I had a vitamin D deficiency. I was sitting in an office with no windows, working in a cubicle in a long sleeve shirt buttoned up to here, like all the way down to my wrists, no exposure to even artificial light, and for 8+ hours a day, every day for 5 years or more. So I was not being exposed to the sun, and I was eating like crap anyways. But it's super important to just know what's going on with your body and being aware of it. And also God, I just gotta do a whole because I've been super into this recently and doing research about like herbal supplements, and I'm just gonna do a whole new episode about that because I've got a lot to say and I know I've learned so much. But thank you so much for watching. Wednesday, I would say wine, but Wednesday vodka with Hailey. Bye.